We have to talk about the Gene Simmons connection because everything sort of begins with that, or at least this phase of your career begins with that.
Absolutely.
So Gene forms a record label, Simmons Records, and he decides that he wants to sign Canadian bands. And the first time I talked to Gene about this must have been, God, almost 3 years ago. And he would come up here and he'd look for bands and he'd go, I kind of like this band, and I gave this band $10,000 because I think they got something. But he never signed anybody until you guys. So you are the first signing to Simmons Records. How did that come about?
Well, I think just like all the rest of the bands that he came up here to see, he has that partnership with Universal. They sent him down the music. He had a listen. He really fell in love with a song called Don't Let Go. Mm-hmm. And he flew right up to see us. We did a little showcase for him. And within 24 hours of that, we were exchanging emails and we started working on collaborating on some music and some ideas. And from there, I think he wanted to go through some sort of a trial period with us to see how it would work. Mm-hmm. And within a week, he was like, all right, let's do this. Let's go. And we
That's really fast for him because he spent all that time looking for bands who couldn't find anything that he liked.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's definitely flattering to us, and we were just playing our music, and I guess it really resonated with him.
All right, well, let's talk about you guys. How long have you been together, and how did you meet Gene?
Well, we all played in other bands. I'm actually from the West Coast, Vancouver. Boyd's from here. Me and the keyboard player of the Envy moved out to Toronto to be closer to our producer Gavin Brown, who's been producing our record, producing my music for the last 5 years. And Boyd was always we were always collaborating, playing guitar on the stuff. And so when we came out here, it just made sense that we would start a band together. Within 6 months, the demos with Gavin got finished and got sent down to Gene. And 6 months after that, we're on tour with Kiss. So it all happened.
Because I saw you here in the summer.
Yeah.
Opening for them at the amphitheater here.
Of course, yeah. I mean, that tour was fantastic. We took us all over North America, Mexico.
It's kind of good having a benefactor, a patron like that, right? I mean, this is, not only is the dude, well connected, but give Gene something that he understands the business of the music business.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that for?
Well, yeah, because the cool thing about Gene is that, with 60, well, not 60 years, I was going to say 60 years experience, but 35 years of experience. I mean, he knows everybody. And if there's ever a big call that needs to be made, most bands maybe can't get through to that person. Gene can call the president.
As well as the merch part of it, I think he was the first one to turn a band into a brand. And he was completely okay with that. They're pretty much comic book characters. They had Kiss comic book, they had everything, right? So we were a little bit afraid that we might, that might be the first conversation. Luckily it was about songwriting, but definitely he knows business. He's the guy.
Well, I think there were 3,000, what did he tell me? 3,000 branded Kiss items in existence.
Yeah.
And then he was, when I last talked to him, he was actually very proud of your logo. The
fingers crossed.
The fingers crossed thing. Like that.
Well, yeah, he is he claims to have invented this.
Now that Ronnie James Dio's dead.
Yeah.
No,
and I actually haven't had this conversation with Gene yet because everyone knows that Dio came up with this, but
that's his grandmother. It was the evil eye.
Gene says he came up with this because he had to hold the pick with these fingers and wave at the audience. So he said when he met us, he was trying to come up with some sort of branding. He liked the name The Envy and he liked our logo, but he really wanted like a simple thing and came up. He helped us. We all kind of collaborated and we came up with this Fingers Crossed thing. Then we wrote a song called Fingers Crossed, and it's actually been one of our most successful live songs that we've been playing. And it's now we've got this on everything.
That's right, because I remember again he was talking about. I think the song came first, right?
What came first?
There was kind of noodling with some riffs and stuff, but the Fingers Crossed concept and the hand sign.
Yeah, I think the logo for the T-shirt and stuff came first, and it was kind of like it was.
But quickly after, about an hour later, me and Sean wrote the song, so
about the same time.
Yeah.
Well, all this stuff is really important because bands these days. I mean, there's a billion bands, and everybody can be their own distributor with Facebook and MySpace and Twitter and everything like that. So. A lot of people will say, "Oh man, the idea of band as brand—that's a bad thing. That sours the art of it all." But no, it's a reality that if you're going to get noticed, you have to have some kind of image.
Oh yeah, and why can't you do it all? Why can't you have the songs and put it out there in any way?
And why can't the branding be artful? Why can't the branding be artsy? And creative, so that. It does resonate.
And I would say that anybody who says, well, these bands are about the music. Well, every band has a logo.
Yeah.
Every band sells T-shirts at their shows.
You sound like Gene now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
great. It makes
that's
sense.
that's the thing, and a really cool thing that Gene said to me early on was that he's like, with my band, we have to do this sort of thing. I have to wear the makeup. I have to play these tunes about partying and going out all night. He's like, but what I like about you guys is that I get to share my other side and work on my other creative side, which is the more, because I guess he considers us like a young U2 or something, right? So he's like the more like heartfelt songwriting-y, melodic stuff. So there's definitely that side to Gene, and I think that's what he enjoys about us. And
again, really cool, mentoring. It's not like the guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
And it's not a dictatorship either. It's a mentor. When we need him, we can call him, and he's happy to help.
We've had our fair share of arguments.
Oh, yeah, for
like
sure.
We've butted heads here and there, but
I've had a couple of arguments with the God of Thunder, and the God of Thunder has always won.
we've won a couple, and it's funny too, because there's some that we fight and we win, and then we look back on it and go, wow, he was totally right.
Yeah.
He was completely right the whole time, but I think that's important too. I think he knew he was right, lets us win the battle, and then we,
He's built up your confidence.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
That's what he's doing. That's smart mentoring. Yeah, that really is. So, okay, it is, as we do this, it's the end of January in 2011. It is a miserable, cold, frozen day outside. What are your plans for the rest of the year?
Well, we're on tour with Finger 11 right now. We're playing 25 shows across Canada. And we've just released our new EP to iTunes at theendofmusic.com/iTunes. The record's coming out.
See, that's good. Gene would have been really proud of you for doing that.
I'm supposed to, actually, he tells me to look at the camera. Theendofmusic.com/iTunes. And the record's coming out soon. The single "Don't Let Go's" just come out to radio. So.
And you're giving it away on Facebook.
We are
on MySpace.
Yeah, it's the song is actually, I think we're about to switch that to another song now that "Don't Let Go" is the single. We're giving away another song on our website.
Hey, listen, you're building up a mailing list.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're trying to spread the word. Yeah.
Okay, and before we go here, I got to see the ink. What do you got there?
Got to see the ink. Usually that's the ladies out there.
No, we're
this is just something that I put together. It's Italian. It says adesso, which is Italian for now. If it was English, N-O-W slapped across my chest just wouldn't be elegant. So I have that across, and V's for void, and that's pretty much it. And then
there's actually an unbelievably hilarious story behind this, which if we have time, I want to tell you.
Desmond Child is...
Well, no, not just the Desmond Child origin, but his name wasn't always Void. As you can probably tell, but now it is Void.
It's a transformation.
But his name became Void after the tattoo.
Oh,
yes.
But what's so interesting about the tattoo is that for some reason
the timeline basically was November I designed it, December I got it, and in February I think the Void thing started happening.
But for
and
some
so
reason,
V basically it says Adesso, right? But V O with a line through it, I and D,
and that's the logo for
is
Void.
in my tattoo.
Complete coincidence. It's kind of ridiculous.
Kind of like a cosmic thing.
It's a real Da Vinci Code thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Exactly.
See? I knew that there had to be
You
a
asked
story.
about it, so we thought
I
we'd
know.
tell the
Well,
whole
that's
story.
the whole point. I'm glad there was a story. Well, good luck with everything. We'll
Thank you.
probably run into you a whole bunch of times over the next 18 months or so as the cycle takes
Yeah,
off.
looking forward to
and
it.
I know that Gene's here for Ad Week, so I'll probably see him.
He's
in
here
a bit.
next week, I think, or something.
Oh
so.
yes. I have to talk to him about. See, when I saw you guys in Montreal in November, when you did the showcase,
cool.
in
Oh, cool,
from Montreal, and Gene was there, of course, with all his Family Jewels people, and he was doing some interviews with his film crew for Family Jewels, and I had to sign a release saying, just in case you get used in the show, I own everything that you have. So I have to ask him. I signed the release. I'm just wondering if he's going to show up here next week and take my house.
Watch
And
out.
your car.
And my car, and
your-
my dog.
You heard the press conference, yeah, great.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, good luck, and we'll see you
Thanks,
guys again
Alan.
soon.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much.
All right.
Explore Music wears English Laundry apparel.